Good evening, everybody. My name's WompCult, and tonight we're gonna walk back from the bar.
No,
I'm here.
WompCult's back. No, it's Pillbo. We gotta get out of here.
Yeah, WompCult.
What, WompCult?
Guys, the strategy to making content is actually really
You're
simple.
pointing at your neck.
I'm pointing at my neck. Hey, good call. Step one: get a cigarette.
Dodge the puddle.
Put that shit out. May the Tao be with you. In case you couldn't tell from that last clip, good evening, everybody. My name's WompCult, and tonight we're gonna talk about essentially how to win the next night. When you had a night full of debauchery and beers, and maybe you bought that geek bar you shouldn't have, or you went through an entire pack of cigarettes in an hour, you're gonna need some help for the next morning, unless you're Bubs or Perry. And I'll tell you a little secret. This hack, the hangover hack, the WompCult one at least, I don't use it too much anymore because what I found out is that my Irish genes power through, as stereotypical as that is. I have a couple friends here who are also half Irish, like Raiha's upstairs, and he's doing great, just like me. I mean, I think the only time this sort of daybreak when I awoke, the first immediate thing was I had to piss, took a piss, went back in the old sleeping bag, woke up, was fine. Pilbo though, Pilbo ain't doing too hot, guys. Pilbo is seasick, essentially. Unless he stares at a object that is still, he gets the swirls still, and that's not too good. So this guide is for all the Pilbos out there who need a little bit of extra help, just like I used to. Guys, what you need to realize is when you have a night of debauchery is you really need to set yourself up the next morning. Now, this isn't about like that clip of the girl who that went viral where she, you know, she's in like a nice like bath towel or like a bathrobe, and she has the bath towel in her hair, and she's eating like blackberries or like pomegranate seeds, and she's like, if you aren't showering after the bar, what are you doing? Yeah, we're not like her. She's a fucking freak, okay? She can go get bent, because clearly she's going to the bar, having a drink or two, and coming home. This is for all my people who, they stop drinking when their card declines. That's me, guys. That's me, in case you're curious. Which is why in this economy, pre-gaming is the most important thing ever. So what actually is the deal here? Well, first of all, in order to sort of start this process, what I like to do is start it while I'm drunk, okay? What you're going to do is, whether you went to a party, whether you just had a small function, listen, if you're in it to fucking win it, hey, congratulations, but you got to realize the night's tuning down a little bit. What I usually like to do is get food at the end of the night. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be thinking, WompCult, I can't tell you how many times I ordered food and forgot about it. That's on you, soldier. Okay? That's on you, buddy. I don't think I've ever ordered food and forgot it. Or not gotten it. I've gotten my food and not eaten it all. That's different. That is completely different. Last night, came home from the bar, as you saw, and essentially, I ordered 2 double cheeseburgers and 2 cookies from McDonald's. And I ate that shit. And that shit was good, okay? I then proceeded to play Pilbo and Smash, where we were both so inebriated that we barely hit each other, and then I passed the fuck out in my bed. Guys, the first step is nutrients, okay? You're going to want to make sure you actually have nutrients while you're drinking. Now, this isn't the sort of thing where it's like, you know, you can kind of set this up 2 ways. The former is what I enjoy. I like to drink a bunch. I like to get super fucked up and then have some nutrients, have something greasy, okay? Something that isn't too bad, but still, you know, makes you question why you don't go to the gym more, right? Drunk food. You can also do this in the morning, but here's the issue with doing it in the morning. While you sleep, that burger's digesting, that burger's working for you, right? Those double cheeseburgers probably saved my life this morning. And I thank them for that, along with those 2 chocolate chip cookies. Now, if you do this in the morning, it becomes a whole nother thing, because now you're getting into like hangover cures where you get like the prairie eye, where you're doing the egg in the cup and all that stuff, which I've done a couple of times, but that's not it. The only third option to sort of step one, which is getting nutrition, if you really don't want to get it when you're drunk, is hair of the dog. And if you don't know what hair of the dog is, it's when you wake up and do a shot of whatever you were drinking that before. This is like the only cure I have found to sort of curing, if you've ever like thrown up really badly. Like I remember when I was in high school one time, it was vodka. Whenever I looked at vodka, I got nauseous. Only way to cure that is to drink it again. Hate to tell you that. Hate to rip the band-aid off. Hair of the dog works great for me. You just can't go over it. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, maybe you do 2 shots. Guys, you only need 1 shot for hair of the dog, if that. A lot of people are going to look at you when you're doing it. You're going to think you're fucking crazy. You know, maybe you are crazy. Maybe you go a little hard sometimes. There's no harm in that. You like to have fun. I like to have fun too. So, ideally, you did the late night food meta where, you know, you ate the food, you're sleeping, the food's working for you, it's helping absorb, giving you nutrients, whatever. Because here's the thing, guys, that counts as your breakfast too, right? Counts as your breakfast. Wake up, do your routine, whatever. Second step is gonna be probably some electrolytes and showering. Guys, I can't tell you how many times that I've been hungover personally where I think after I showered I felt baptized, like I just swam in the Simmons pool. I mean, you know, it's great. Or like the pool at the Y, or really any body of water. I'm a big swimmer, love swimming. But essentially that's what you're going to want to do, because it's going to get all the grime off of you. It's going to get all the gross stuff. If you wore, what I like to do is I wear some jewelry out when I go out. I usually shower with that on. Just sort of how it is. So, you got your nutrients, you've showered, you've washed yourselves, you washed the jewelry you went out with essentially by showering, assuming it can go in the shower. Don't wear a watch in the shower, guys. I don't know if one of you guys are thinking you should. Because what's going to happen is a lot of people think you're going to break the watch. That's not the least of your worries. The watch police are going to swat your ass, okay? And they're going to start roasting your gear ratios, and not going to be good. Not going to be good at all. So, you've gotten nutrients. You've cleaned yourself. What's the third step to complete the cycle? Guys, the biggest misconception of a hangover, the biggest thing you can do to help yourself is by realizing that having a day where you're hungover is a myth. It's a myth, and it's a mindset, right? I think that the third thing that I always like to do is be productive. Whether that's going to the gym, whether that's editing something, whether that's doing some homework, working on a personal project, even going outside for a walk. What you need to realize, and what you need to start to be comfortable with, is that the only reason why you're having hangover days is because you want to. That's why. You want to. It's a choice, ultimately. And I think the third step to my sort of master plan to stop a hangover is that. It's that exactly. Whether you've chain smoked a whole pack, whether you've smoked a galactic pack that sends you to the stratosphere, as long as you get nutrients, you know, clean yourself off and do what you gotta do, I reckon you could probably start drinking by 6 p.m. the next night. I mean, who's stopping you, right? And what you really need to master is realizing that you can do. I mean, the next part's kind of optional, but you really need to master the fact that there's 24 hours in a day and you're going to spend it how you want to. And if that means you want to sit in bed and be hungover and cry about it, yeah, man, I mean, that's awesome. I've done that too. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes you go hard, you start puking, yeah, you need that. But I think there's an extent where it's time to it's kind of like doom scrolling. It gets to a point where, you kind of do need to get out of bed at some point. You do need to take a shower, you do need to eat something, and you do need to live the rest of the day. The fourth part, which is optional, completely optional and really only applies if you're a college student or if you're just a degenerate, really, is you can do your work while you're inebriated. No one's stopping you. And what I like to do is I like to test how smart sober WompCult is by doing some stuff while WompCult's inebriated. Sober WompCult trusts inebriated WompCult. Inebriated WompCult trusts sober WompCult. It's a great thing um, to do, and that last part's really optional. That's only for the people who are going out like every other night, and you need to balance a workload like mine at school, which is horrid. I mean, I have professors. Not to go on a tangent real quick, but I will. Yeah, I have professors that are given assignments that are due at like 6 p.m. on a Saturday. Like, buddy, what are we doing? What's going on? No one's doing that. The thing that being a college professor, I think, makes people realize is they forget what they were like in college. And there are some college professors where I'm sure they never had any fun, they never did anything. And they're the kind of people who have assignments. I wonder what's happening outside. But they are the kind of people who, it passed. They are the kind of people who, seem to not have fun. Where the professors who automatically assign stuff at 12 are the goats because they realize people procrastinate and they probably actually had a life in college. Unlike people who are like, this is due at 8 p.m. or 6. Like, why are you giving it a time? What? And the thing that's crazy is I've had a couple of professors that are like this, and here's the best part about it, right? You're hungover, you're trashed, you forget to do the assignment, you don't do the assignment. Next day, they're pissed off that half the class didn't do the assignment that was due at 6 p.m. on a Saturday. Buddy, if you want people to do the assignment, put it at 12. Don't have it due on a Saturday, maybe. I don't know. Like, it's this weird loop where it's like, oh, maybe don't create your own problem. Like, college students are going to college student. Whether that means they're going to have their nose to the grindstone and eventually burn out because they're, not really relaxing in a manner that helps them mentally, or they're a degenerate who chain smokes and drinks like every other day and still gets their work done. You should make assignments that's designed for both of those students at the end of the day. And sadly, that's not the current status, which is why having a hangover cure like the one that I've presented to you in this video is so valuable. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe down below. Yeah. Check out the Instagram, WompCult. I post some stuff there sometimes. There's some stuff there that I won't post here. Same thing, because I think Instagram and YouTube are very different platforms, and I definitely value one over the other for posting more short form content. So follow me there if you got that. I'm not on TikTok. I'll never be on TikTok. I don't really like TikTok. Yeah. Take it easy.